PTSD can strike the victims of criminal violence, of natural disasters, and emergency response workers. But American soldiers returning from Iraq and Afghanistan have raised its public profile as they describe their own devastating symptoms.
You're always on edge. You can't sleep.
Hopeless, lost, depressed.
For months at a time, I wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't have no contact with anybody.
That isolation compounds a sense of shame or weakness for many whose military training has schooled them not to complain.
You wouldn't feel that way if your leg got blown up and you had an amputation, because people can see it and understand that pain, and people don't understand this pain.
It's a stigma issue, and disorder carries with it a certain amount of stigma.
So as a top Army general trying to stem its soaring suicide rate, Peter Chiarelli decided to stop referring to PTSD as a disorder.
We know for a fact that by use of the word disorder, there's a certain portion of the population affected with post-traumatic stress that won't come in and get the help they need.
After the Canadian military dropped the term PTSD and began calling it operational stress injury, there was a sharp increase in soldiers volunteering for treatment. But new research has established a link between PTSD and actual physical trauma. It's found that patients who suffered traumatic brain injury have a much higher rate of PTSD. The physical damage also changes the structure of the amygdala, the part of the brain that controls fear and stress response. Yet cures for that physical damage are still far from ready.
And I think it's absolutely essential we educate everybody about just how far behind the rest of science we are in this particular area.
But until the research does catch up, the need will grow to deal with PTSD more responsively. Tom Ackerman, Al Jazeera, Washington.